Samuel and Elijah were twin brothers who shared a lifelong obsession with urban exploration. Their latest target was the infamous Blackwood Manor, a massive house that had been completely abandoned since the death of its eccentric owner, a mysterious art collector named Silas Vane, nearly 40 years ago. Local legends claimed the house was haunted, but the twins were only interested in the forgotten history. They managed to gain discreet access, finding the mansion utterly consumed by dust, shadow, and decay. The main attraction was the library. It was a cavernous room, 2 stories high, lined floor to ceiling with thousands of brittle, dusty books. The atmosphere was heavy, cold, and utterly silent. While examining the room, they noticed something completely out of place. One particular section of the built-in shelving, roughly 10 feet wide, seemed to sit unevenly. It was slightly recessed into the wall, and the top molding was subtly misaligned with the rest of the carpentry. They pushed on it, expecting it to be glued to the wall, but it barely budged. Driven by the unmistakable feeling of a secret, they began a methodical search. They examined the spines of every book on that section, looking for a hidden button or lever. They checked the floorboards for foot pedals. Nothing. Finally, Elijah noticed a tiny, almost imperceptible discoloration on the baseboard, right beneath the shelving unit. It was a small, round indentation, perfectly sized for a single finger. When he pressed it, there was a faint clunk sound from deep within the wall. The entire section of the bookshelf slowly and silently began to pivot inward, revealing a dark, tight passage leading into an internal cavity. The twins, already ecstatic, shone their powerful headlamps into the darkness. The passage was short, leading to a steel-reinforced door. This wasn't just a closet. This was a purpose-built vault, meticulously hidden behind a wall of books. Hey guys! Quick break, because we need your help to show you the full story of this mysterious library. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and we need to smash that goal ASAP. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. It makes a massive difference. Also, drop a comment below and let us know where in the world you're watching this video from. We love seeing how far our adventures travel. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. The vault door was a heavy, old-fashioned model, sealed with a circular combination dial. There were no handles, no hinges showing from the outside. They knew they needed to find the combination. They returned to the library and searched the desk of the late Silas Vane. They found journals, tax documents, and letters, all mundane. However, tucked into the spine of a massive leather-bound volume of Renaissance poetry, they found a small, brittle envelope. Inside was a single elegant note card on which was written a precise date, the date of Vane's marriage, followed by a 6-digit number. It was the combination. With trembling hands, Samuel carefully turned the dial, listening for the internal clicks. The final tumbler fell into place with a clear, resonant sound. The heavy steel door was unlocked. They pulled the door open, revealing a small, perfectly preserved room. The air inside was dry and cool, completely still, preserving everything inside with an unnerving perfection. This was not just a hiding spot, it was a museum hidden in time. The hidden room was not empty. It was filled with art. But not the mass-produced prints one might expect. The walls were lined with canvases, and a large wooden crate sat in the center of the floor. The first canvas they pulled out was small, intimate, and immediately recognizable. It was an oil sketch by Pablo Picasso, signed and dated 1943. They had found a secret art gallery. Every piece they uncovered intensified the shock. There were sketches by Leonardo da Vinci, likely preparatory works, an unsigned charcoal piece that carried the undeniable style of Edgar Degas, and several small, vivid landscape paintings clearly belonging to the 19th-century French Impressionist movement. This was not Vane's collection. This was a stolen collection, a trove of masterpieces that had been missing from European galleries since the turmoil of World War II. They found a final, crucial item inside the central wooden crate, a meticulously detailed ledger. The ledger chronicled every single piece in the room, listing its original museum, its acquisition date by Silas Vane, and, most damningly, its real value, which the ledger noted was untraceable and priceless. The ledger confirmed that Vane, the eccentric recluse, had actually been a high-level art fence, dealing in stolen masterpieces that had disappeared during the war. He had created the perfect hiding place for his most valuable, unmovable assets, literally walling them off from the world and securing them with a combination only he and his wife knew. The biggest revelation came from the last canvas. It was a small portrait, intensely lifelike, depicting a serene woman with striking blue eyes. The style was distinctly Johannes Vermeer. Vermeer originals are among the rarest and most valuable in the world, and there are known missing pieces. This particular portrait was unsigned, but the ledger listed it as the missing Delft portrait. If authenticated, it would be the single most valuable piece of art recovered in decades. The twins were holding millions in stolen cultural heritage, a priceless collection hidden for decades. They knew that selling it was impossible, not only because it was stolen but because they would be implicated in the theft. Their goal instantly shifted from urban exploration to international historical recovery. They photographed and documented everything meticulously, then carefully closed the vault and reset the bookshelf, maintaining the secret until they could approach the proper authorities safely. The realization was clear. The collection was priceless because it belonged to the world, and they were the only two people who knew where it was. The twins, Samuel and Elijah, faced the biggest ethical dilemma of their lives. They quietly reached out to Interpol's Art Crime Unit through a specialized liaison at a major university, providing their findings without revealing the location of the mansion. The Art Crime Unit was immediately skeptical, but the twins' photographic evidence, especially the ledger and the photo of the Vermeer-style portrait, forced them to take the claim seriously. After months of intensive, secret coordination, the twins guided a small, discreet team of Interpol agents and art historians to Blackwood Manor. The moment the experts laid eyes on the collection, the disbelief turned to awe. The pieces were genuine. The Vermeer portrait was authenticated as a legitimate missing work, immediately catapulting its value beyond any conventional estimate. It was truly priceless. The Picasso sketch and the other Impressionist works were confirmed to be part of famous European collections looted during the war. The recovery was massive, deemed one of the largest private art recoveries in history. The full collection was estimated to be worth well over $100 million on the legal market, though its cultural value defied any number. The twins were hailed not as explorers, but as heroes of cultural heritage. Because of the high value and the sensitivity of the recovery, the twins were awarded a staggering reward payment by the major European insurance companies and governments involved. The final figure, paid as a recovery commission, totaled $18 million. The money was tax-free and immediately transferred to their accounts. The immense reward was both shocking and overwhelming. They used the money to start a foundation dedicated to the ethical preservation of abandoned properties and historical documentation, moving away from simple urban exploration. They never revealed the exact location of Blackwood Manor, allowing the house to remain a silent guardian of its secrets. They went from being struggling explorers to custodians of a vast fortune, all because a misaligned bookshelf led them to a vault filled with masterpieces. The priceless nature of the discovery didn't just change their lives, it helped return a piece of the world's history. Thanks for watching our incredible journey.